Resource management. When you play a gacha game that involves leveling up multiple characters, the main issue with completing this task is a lack of resources. Wuthering Waves, like any other gacha game, requires you to spend a form of replenishable daily stamina to raise those characters, and the name of that stamina system is called Wave Plates. As more and more characters get released, you're going to need more and more resources, and you will notice that you'll begin to run dry on those resources. At this point, raising characters can become an absolute pain. Now, priorities are priorities, so you will definitely raise up your one queen or king to the utmost power level despite the others on your account suffering in the process. But we do what must be done for our mains. But after that, how are we going to keep up with more and more characters being released? Luckily for us, we have the foresight to plan and build for upcoming characters, right? We know who's coming at least 6 weeks in advance, so no biggie. There's plenty of time to actually prepare for at least half of the materials. Well, imagine a scenario where Kuro Game decides to give you a free 5-star character and he's the best character for that particular archetype. Are you forced to throw him to the side while you slowly manage raising him over the period of weeks or even months until he's finally able to do more than tickle the Dreamless? Honestly, I tickle Dreamless either way, personally. But anyways, I'm Void Enigma, and I'll be going over how the lack of materials and the wave plate efficiency to get those materials is becoming a serious problem in Wuthering Waves. Well, I pointed out exactly how to raise characters, and that's by using wave plates, but the efficiency for those wave plates is pretty bad in certain areas. You need to raise a character's level, their weapon, their forte, and all of those are fine and dandy as those don't seem too horrible, but the echoes, that's where a lot of the issues come from. Now, Wuha has done a really good job of giving you a ton of materials at the beginning of the patch with the event, and they will eventually give you even more materials when the Elusive Realm opens up, but even then, raising a character to their peak level is tough. With the influx of materials and some pre-farming for all of those boss drops, I was able to get Jeji to this level. Her weapon is not yet maxed and her forte does need a lot of work, but I suspect that by the end of the week, I can finish this. But this is honestly thanks to not only the battle pass, but all of the materials at the beginning of the patch. This is a good thing, but me raising a new character, Jeji, has halted my progress on raising other characters that I wanted to raise, being Sanhua and Dungeon, and not only that, but a lot of my characters' forte just really needs some touching up. With all of that being said, I can't complain about raising characters because there is an end goal in sight. When the Elusive Realm shop opens up and the reset of the Tower of Adversity happens, the materials will be there to raise these characters, but the major glaring issue of all of this are the sealed tubes, because they are sealed behind the tacit fields. Get it? You can also seal in that like button, as this is the best way to support the channel so that I can continue to make great woo-wah content. Now, comparatively to other gacha games, Wuthering Waves has a generous system when it comes to raising characters. It's much easier, but that was true for the honeymoon phase. I'll be real. As of lately, raising echoes has been an absolute nightmare for me. Getting the right substat seems to be way harder as of 1.1, and I am burning through sealed tubes quicker than I can seal the deal to get a good echo. The issue is that the tacit fields take 60 wave plates, which is massive. Comparatively to other tasks, I can get 4 boss drop materials for the same value, and if I'm actually wanted to raise a character from level 1 to 90, I'll need to farm the boss about 12 times, 11 if I'm lucky, which is 3 days of wave plates, being 720 wave plates. 3 days of materials to get a character from level 1 to level 90 is actually not that bad. I think it's fair. As for tacit fields, boy oh boy. Those same runs will let me raise, get this, 4 echoes from level 20 to 25. Now imagine all those echoes that end up being trash. Personally, I'm a min-maxer, so not having double crit on echoes really frustrates me, but I am actually having to settle for just good enough echoes because these sealed tubes are sealing my fate. Okay, I swear I'll stop making these sealing jokes. This is the most daunting task for a character because there is no end goal in sight. With a new character, I know that I'm going to need X amount of credits, X amount of potions to raise them, and X amount of forte materials. Meanwhile, with the echoes, I could potentially need an infinite amount of time to get one character to a suitable level to complete with my current roster of characters. This, combined with the need to raise all of the new characters that we continue to get in the first year of this game, will make it a very unpleasant experience that will only get worse. Until it gets better. Now, this issue is all but temporary because as we raise these characters and stop pulling for every new waifu or husbando that we see, this will give us time to raise those characters that we left in the dungeon. The echo raising thing is still going to be an ongoing issue, but I feel that this was put in place simply to halt our progress. Yes, it feels bad, but it serves a purpose per se. We would stop playing the game if we didn't have at least something to look forward to, and I hate to say it, but Wuthering Waves really needs to add more endgame content because I hate the concept of endgame being farming echoes. The rates for a good echo is still better than most games as far as the equipment is concerned, but I don't know why raising echoes in 1.1 has felt so much worse. Maybe it's that I'm raising a lot less echoes overall, but I feel like they nerfed the rates for good rolls. Who knows? It's not all hopeless, however, as there are ways to make this experience better for the player, and I believe that Wuthering Waves will eventually figure it out as long as we give them suitable feedback on the process. Firstly, a similar concept in all gacha games is having a weekly stamina refresh item that we actually get to give us that extra push. I would love to see this implemented into Wuthering Waves somewhere, as that will just be better overall for that little bit of extra stamina per week. What I would also like to see is Wuthering Waves releasing the Elusive Realm for the duration of the patch. That way, we can actually raise the new character that we get on day 1 at the beginning of the patch. The fact that the Elusive Realm was for 1 month out of the patch doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It should just be a permanent game mode that changes. Why is there a downtime of 1 to 2 weeks? And lastly, lower the damn cost of the tacit fields, or at least make the actual output from the tacit fields a lot more. Farming these tacit fields are a pain in the ass, especially when all of the echoes that you actually raise end up being trash. They already addressed the issue of the lack of resources and materials because they're adding an extra material influx when the second banner is released, so we know that they're aware of the issue with raising characters. I know that you all are having the same material drought that I'm having, so comment down below how you feel about the overall issue. In time, it will fix itself because one thing I know for sure after having my Genshin account for 4 years is that eventually we will have so much materials that we won't even know what to do with it. It's the inevitable thing for these types of games, and when we get to that level, the fun of raising characters will be diminished. If we can even classify solely raising characters as fun. What are we, a bunch of masochists? Okay, don't answer that. We've really been on the rise as a community, and I sincerely appreciate all of the support, but only 4% of you all are subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe to help this channel grow so that I can continue to make great content for you all. I really appreciate all of the recent support, and I can't thank you all enough. Until next time, Enigma out.